Okay, our stone here, is topaz, has a chip. Developed a little chip right there. Looks like it's covers about 3 facets. So we're going to repair our little topaz. Okay, so we're going to super glue our chip stone to the dop. So we just make sure that the dop is centered and that the stone is flat on the top. Although it wouldn't really matter because we're just going to clean up 3 facets. So we move the dop up temporarily and we put a drop of super glue onto the stone. Push the dop down, turn it over, and let it harden. Then we'll be able to clean up our little chip. So this is a unique type of chip that when you see it, you'll know that it almost certainly was caused by one action: operator error, losing control of the spindle or the quill when faceting a dop stone. For new cutters, it means you drop the spindle by accident. If you're not a new cutter, then this should not happen, because as you cut stones, you develop and gain experience in controlling the stone or spindle. But even for experienced cutters, what can happen is that you're cutting a tier of facets at an angle approaching 90 degrees. You should lower the splash guard and use the hold down rods to hold the splash guard out of the way while you facet this tier. But when you get lazy, you feel that you can just move the spindle over and up and avoid contact with the splash guard. Then you forget, and you raise that spindle, the back part of the spindle hits the rubber splash guard, you drop the spindle with the stone on it, and it hits the lap. Ouch. You quickly grab the stone and spindle, turn off the machine, say a silent prayer, grab your loop, and carefully examine the stone, hoping to see no visible damage. Wow, lucky. Except there still may be damage at the point where the stone is glued to the dop, which you won't see until you're done fastening and remove the adhesive. And that is exactly the type of damage that you see here. 100% operator error. I was lucky, as this is minimal damage and is easily repaired. It could have had a lot of more damage. A large chunk of the stone could have cracked off, and it could have been a disaster. Alright, so we've started polishing it out. I'm just polishing that chip out with a 14,000 diamond on a bat lap. And that little line is almost gone. You can see 1, 2, 3. Those 3 dots are the remainder of that chip, and in a minute I'll have polished that out. So it's not causing a lot of problems. It's increased the size of this one facet so that these 2 facets don't touch, and that there's a slight overcut here. But so after I finish polishing this one, I'll move to this facet and polish it up, enlarge it a little bit, and that will shut down the overcut here, and it will drop this bottom part of this diamond to touch the top part and have the meats. So it'll clean that meat up and it'll clean that meat up. So I have a little bit more to polish here, and then I'll have to polish this facet, and then everything else should be good to go, and we'll be done with our repair. Okay, we've brought all the meats back to meat point or near meat point, so I ended up touching it up a couple of facets, 2 on the bottom, 2 on the top, in addition to our one that had the chip. So it's all cleaned up, not noticeable, didn't change the weight of the stone at all. So that's how you repair a chip. Okay, for our repair, I used super glue, Loctite, the Loctite 404. So I'm going to take the stone off the dop using acetone, and I've always had a problem figuring out the right container to put the acetone in it. I usually use like an old jelly or jam jar, but there always seems to be, the lid gets a little bit, I guess the acetone needs to do something in the lid, the plastic, and then it starts evaporating. So somebody told me, and I can't remember who it was, I don't know, I apologize, one of the better cutters than me, where I get all my good ideas from other people, said to use a pill bottle. And so I put some acetone in here thinking, no, acetone's going to chew right through this plastic. So it's been in there for weeks, and it didn't chew through the plastic. So all I can figure is our wonderful Congress probably spent millions and millions of dollars designing the right material to put in a pill box so that the pills don't mix with the plastic or something. I don't know. Anyway, acetone doesn't eat through the plastic pill box. So when you put the stone in there, first off, you're not putting it into glass. That's a good thing. It's not going to bounce off the glass. And you're just putting the head in, and the rest is not in the acetone unless you want it to be. Then you just put more acetone in your pill jar. So anyway, this is the latest new technique that I'm testing out. This will be the first time I've tried it with a stone, but I think it's going to work, and I think it's better than a jelly jar or a jam jar. It is for me because it's not glass. The stone's not bouncing against glass, and the acetone doesn't evaporate through the pill box. I know because it's, like I said, it's been sitting in there for weeks. So here we go with this test. Okay, and the next morning our stone is off the top. So let's fish it out and take a look. So today I showed you a nasty chip that can occur when you lose control of your quill and the stone hits your lap very hard. I showed you that if you're lucky, the chip can be easily repaired or polished out, and I showed you how I'm now trying out a pill bottle with acetone to remove the super glue from the stone when I'm done, instead of all the other types of jars and containers that I've tried over time to hold the acetone in. Bottom line, be careful with your quill, don't drop it. Happy fasting, everyone.